Yes, yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Mm-mm-mm. What it said? Break Mike. Y'all wake up and come on in this thing. Good morning. Good morning. Those of you coffee sippers, orange juice sippers, water sippers. I'm on that orange juice this morning, but no ice. All right, which gas station is the closest? I'm gonna go to this one up here. I can use the car reader. But listen, y'all, we want to go over these people losing their job. And not because under a normal circumstance I would laugh and joke about people losing their job, but this seemed extra kind of hypocritical to me. Excuse me. These are the people who want everybody else canceled for what they say. Dave Chappelle, anybody who says something that they didn't agree with under the last administration, they wanted them canceled. They wanted to block social media sites. They stopped the president from getting on X. So if you can cancel the president, silence the president, you can fire everybody else for what they say against certain people, certain groups. Um, shouldn't you be held to the same standard? And I told everybody when I first came online, everybody, oh, you was a basketball player. You stayed quiet for 20 years. You knew you had them people controlling you. I said, we all have a level of control. Have you read your company policy bylaws? The same thing that affects NBA players is just the same thing that affects you. It's called company policy. The more money that you receive, the more company policy that you get. You working for somebody that's paying you millions and millions of dollars? Well, their company policy is going to be basically where you can't say pretty much nothing to affect that company because they don't want to deal with that type of scrutiny. So I don't know why people thought, oh, I'm just a regular person. I work a regular job. I'm not going to get canceled. Bullshit. That's why either canceling is a thing or it isn't. And I see people trying to classify them going to a schoolhouse telling children that they watched Charlie Kirk's assassination on a loop. You're going to tell children that. That ain't your freedom of speech. That's you being an asshole. That's you being out of place. Why would you go around children talking to them about someone's assassination over free speech? They're trying to glorify this type of thing because this is what they wanted from the beginning, fear to talk. Oh yeah, if everybody become afraid to talk, this is what they want. And as you can see, they are increasingly getting more and more violent in the left. Somebody with a nose ring and a fucking purple pink hair that look like Barney will bust your mother trucking behind with the quickness. These people, some of these people are full of rage, anger, a lot of misplaced hatred, and they are enacting some things out on the streets that don't make them seem so fluffy and flowery like they talk. So I've seen some of them get fired. So I just want to bring it to you guys. It was on. It's all over YouTube, Sky News Network, couple channels. But Hold on. Star calls out. Who is this star right here? Oh, this guy called out the leftist hate. I think I played this one before. Let's start out with this one. Soulless bastard.
Miscreants of the left, they still manage to surprise us with the depth of their depravity.
Fair use.
The sympathy for Charlie Kirk is fucking weird.
You want to know why I'm so stoked? Go ahead and Google Charlie Kirk.
They got him in the net! Rest in peace, bozo!
I do not feel bad for him in the slightest.
Put down like a dog in Utah, and I could not be happier.
Charlie would have wanted it this way.
He's been one of the most divisive younger figures who is constantly.
Now, I thought these people were all inclusive. I thought these people was all inclusive. Charlie Kirk was just talking. They're all inclusive now. They put that purple hair on, they all inclusive to kick your mother trucking behind. But good morning. I want y'all to take a look at the all inclusive people.
Pushing hate speech.
Oh, they clapped him.
I think it's worth to have a cost.
C'est qui va plus donner de conférence? Qui? Charlie Kirk.
The rhetoric of Charlie Kirk, the way that he condoned violence exactly like this, and how it came back to hurt him. Everything that we're seeing with the Trump regime, it stems from Charlie Kirk.
We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
Now, here are two witches. The first is planning to celebrate the next assassination. These people are demonic.
If you were gonna get the job done, there were two better candidates. And furthermore, when that happens,
Damn, this little wet moose rat look like a cow. Look at her big old forehead. Nacho, we found somebody that got no eyebrows just like you. This lady looked like she cooked rats and eat and drank the juice. Like, look at this person. If you gonna get the job done, we could have had other people. You could have got somebody else. So it's not good enough that they unalived this man in front of his children and his wife in the world. They wanted to get somebody else. I guess they wanted to get Donald Trump. This is a shame, boy. This is a wet mole rat looking mother trucker. And it's always be these type of people. Ain't nobody got them coming to her house, taking her to Pound Town. This ugly mother. Tired of these people.
and it will. It will. Not only will we be insensitive, that'll be the least of your worries. But it's gonna be the biggest celebration, the biggest, most beautiful celebration.
Hideous, just hideous antics. And here is one hard left troll, a vicious and callous lefty straight from Central Casting. Sadly for us, this one's Australian.
Pretending that you don't enjoy a terrible person's death is not dignified, it's cowardly. And this is exactly how we got here, because
she said it's cowardly to not celebrate an evil person's death. Well, golly. If Charlie Kirk is an evil person, boy, or if he was an evil person, boy, we got some mother, boy, we in trouble. If they call him evil, or what he stood for, we in trouble. All you got to do is say something that somebody don't like, and you're an evil person. Damn.
This is what Trump is an absolute master at. He is a master at saying the worst, most uncomfortable things, and people on the left just sitting there going, oh, I'm too scared to say what I really think. You just go along with it. You say nothing because it's not uncomfortable enough for you. The only people I have any empathy for in the Charlie Kirk situation are his victims. That is it.
Now, instead of reflecting on the utter evil of what she said there, what she had chosen to share on the World Wide Web, well, instead of reflecting on that, she decided to double down on the ugliness, on the bile, on the depraved lunacy.
All of the drama, I want to reiterate that it is not wrong or unethical or unkind to laugh at the misfortunes of terrible people. That Charlie Kirk incited violence. That's what he did. And then that came back to haunt him. That was his decision. So it's got nothing to do with the people who are laughing and joking about him becoming a human water fountain.
Just foul, vicious, deranged hate. What else can you say about that? Let's have a brief antidote to that ugliness. Let's hear from Jeffree Star, the original, the OG influencer. He had a message for those celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder.
Because I'm standing up for someone that passed away, I'm now being called names in the chat. This is what's wrong with a lot of you people. You will never get far in life. You are sick in the head. Someone just said they're unsubscribing from me. Thank God, please. Because if you believe in they and thems, you're part of the problem.
Are so all-inclusive that they're destroying one of their own for not agreeing with them. Now this person can be called names. They'll destroy anybody that don't agree with them. And I'm not talking about that community. I'm talking about majority of the people who have this ideology that is good for me, cancel thee and not me. I should be able to say what I want. Freedom of speech for me and not you. What you say is hurtful and what I say is real. That's what people are going. That's what people are moving off of.
If you're so stupid enough to go against science, please unfollow me. You can be whoever you want to be, but there's science and there's facts. You can pretend in your head you're a cat. You can pretend in your head that you're this and you're that. Good for you. You're still only A or B. And the truth hurts a lot of you, I see.
And he
Damn. This person is the most logical person I've seen from that community. I never heard nobody from that community talk like this. Have y'all ever heard anybody with colored hair say, I back science? This person just said, I back science. And if you say science is not real, you can say you a cat, but that don't make you a cat. I never heard nobody say this from that community. So salute to this person. I never heard nobody say that. I'm sorry.
Because I'm standing up for someone that passed away, I'm now being called names in the chat. This is what's wrong with a lot of you people. You will never get far in life. You are sick in the head. Someone just said they're unsubscribing from me. Thank God, please. Because if you believe in they and thems, you're part of the problem. If you're so stupid enough to go against science, please unfollow me. You can be whoever you want to be, but there's science and there's facts. You can pretend in your head you're a cat. You can pretend in your head that you're this and you're that. Good for you. You're still only A or B. And the truth hurts a lot of you, I see.
And huge props to Jeffree Star for that. He posted plenty more on the issue. His following is enormous. He has over 13 million followers on Instagram alone and many more on TikTok. And many of them are of the left. He pays a...
Oh my God, he got that many followers and said that? Oh, he about to lose his gay card, his LGBT card. They about to say he's straight. There ain't no way you can go against their ideology like that. You go, damn, they about to say he's straight. Has he been talking like this? Has this person been talking like this? Because if they have, I'm confused on how they following get so big. Yeah, that would be confusing on how that person following get that big if they've been talking like that. Because that's the first time I ever heard somebody in that community talk like that. So I don't know how this person get that kind of following, but seems pretty logical.
A big price every time he speaks up, and that takes courage. And it's all about courage and conviction. If you want to know why Charlie's work was so important in giving confidence to students to speak freely, to conservatives to boldly state their position in the face of enormous intimidation on university campuses, let's have a look at this clip. This intimidation is not just from radicalised students, it's also from academia. Listen to what happened to this young man.
What happened? I was walking to Valhalla to get my food exchanged, and PhD student Patrick Mahoney, as well as his accomplice Gerald Hobb, did not like the hat I was wearing. And when my head was down, I made zero eye contact with him. He saw my hat, he ripped the hat off my head, crumbled it. I had to go confront him and say, "What are you doing, dude?" What happened next? He charged at me. Patrick grabbed my chest, slammed it on the road pavement. Then he grabbed my head and also slammed it on the road pavement as hell.
And this was a professor, right?
Yeah.
If a conservative professor would have hunted down a Kamala Harris wearing student, it would have been a hate crime and the #1 news story in the country. Now,
y'all tell me if that's true. If that would have happened the other way around, they would have said it's because the person support Kamala. They would have forgot about Joe. They would have said this is what happened to black people when you support black people. Imagine a professor running you down, snatching your hat off, kicking your ass on campus. That's a first. That's something you'd never think you're going to experience at school. Imagine somebody, your kid coming home, "Hey mom, hey dad, what's up son, what's up little girl, what's up honey? Oh yeah, I just got into a boxing match with the professor." What the hell, for what? "Oh, they just snatched my hat off, tried to choke me and scratch me in the eyeball for wearing a MAGA hat." What happened after that? Nothing. Nobody was expelled. We didn't even hear about the story. I deserved it because I supported Trump. Yeah, this is what happens when you support Trump. People can violate your rights. They can just hold you down, whoop your ass. You don't have no right to like Trump. And if you do, you should be open to violence because Trump says words of violence. There go that's what they want you to get to understand. Because we classify Trump's words as violence, then now we can become violent towards you. And there's no problem. We're matching force with force. We take your words as violence. Even though, by definition, physical attack is in the word attack. But we're going to take what you're saying as an attack so that we can justify our poor behavior. So we can justify our impulse control. So we can justify not being able to deal with what you actually said. It's violence, so that therefore we can be violent with you. And that's why we got to stop these little crazies and lock their ass up for trying to make words violence. That's sorcery. Words mean something. And if I say I don't like you, or I think you're a horrible person, or I don't think you're right about something, whatever I say, that doesn't mean I'm attacking or I'm getting violent. That just means we don't agree on this.
we could barely get attention for a young man who was punched by a professor here at Washington State University. They're the ones dividing the country. We're the ones trying to heal.
They're the ones dividing the country. Charlie was trying to bring it together through respectful debate. But how do you debate people like this?
I have breaking news. We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah, ooh.
Yeah, I can't see myself having a coffee and sitting down with this psycho motherfucker right here. Can you imagine? All you got to do is just change the person's name and just see if that would work. I can see this person now sitting there going into a coffee shop thinking this shit is cool and sit up there dancing talking about, George Floyd just got leaned on his neck. Ooh. I can see her getting dragged out, beat to a bloody pulp, and nobody wouldn't give a damn. But if it's Charlie Kirk, then it's supposed to be okay. I don't know. I wouldn't want to have no coffee next to no some bitch like this that celebrate anybody's death. I don't want that bad karma. I don't want what's coming for you to brush off on me. Yeah. I don't want that. This is a normal looking chick. Imagine your girlfriend, right? Imagine you think you know your girl, and you go click on a live and you see your girl dancing to somebody who passed away. Somebody that with the ideology of Charlie Kirk, he believed in no violence, just talking. Similar to Martin Luther King. No violence, just talking. You may not like what I'm saying, but I'm here. Pull up on me, prove me wrong. Let's debate, let's talk. Because they're going to watch behavior. And this person's behavior is that of a talker, not of a killer, not of a whatever. Just talking. But you up here talking about, person just got shot in the neck. What the hell is wrong with you? And then you wonder why somebody fired your dumb ass. And then all you got to do is say that about George Floyd, and you would have known your ass was going to get fired.
People like this.
I have breaking news. We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah, ooh.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. There are some people on this app that are
Live by the sword, die by the sword. What was his sword? A microphone? A microphone didn't hit him, dumb lady. He didn't have a sword. He had a mic. He had his words. So live by your words, die by, like, lady. Like, these people are crazy.
sitting there saying, oh, you shouldn't wish death upon any person, no matter what side they're on. That. Charlie Kirk was a Nazi.
So F the Bible, because the Bible said that too. So just know you got fired for saying F the Bible, ma'am. The Bible says that. Not anybody else. It's not us saying this. The Bible says you should not pick on the unalive or something like that, because the wrath of that person will be bestowed unto you. You're not supposed to pick on the dead. It's in the Bible. It ain't us. You going against God, lady. You crazy.
He was a Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one.
Gather around, let's all join hands and bow our heads in thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
I'm not sad. It's about time Karma took out that trash.
Charlie Kirk was a big advocate for the Second Amendment. It worked out well for him.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one.
It will mean nothing. Charlie's death will mean nothing. It will impact no one. Really?
It will activate no one.
The bile-filled left cannot comprehend the outpouring of goodwill for Charlie from ordinary people around the world, from world leaders, from artists like Coldplay and Morgan Wallen. And the tributes for Charlie have poured in from sporting leagues as well, formerly painfully woke sporting leagues like the NFL and Major League Baseball. This is the Dallas Cowboys paying tribute to Charlie Kirk and tributes to at college football games. Here is LSU honouring Charlie on the weekend in front of more than 102,000 fans.
That you join us in a moment of reflection following the murders of Charlie Kirk in Orem, Utah, Arena Zarutska in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the high school shooting in Colorado. LSU condemns all violence in our community.
And this next tribute shows you how much the culture has shifted. This wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. It wouldn't have happened a year ago. The New York Yankees, in the bluest of blue cities in a blue state, paid tribute to the Happy Warrior, the man who changed so many hearts and minds. And earlier today, the New York Jets paid this tribute to Charlie Kirk's legacy before their game against the Buffalo Bills. Again, this is New Jersey, folks, not Texas. This is a blue.
Now, some going to say they doing that because he white. There's a lot of white people that get unalived every year. I don't think they're doing that because he's white. I think they're doing that because of his message. I think they're doing that because they realize that that could be them. Most smart people don't cheer something like this because they know that this could be anybody. And once you start this up, once you normalize this, then guess what? There's people on the other side that don't like what you say. Oh, yeah, there's people on the other side that can make some other people mama cry, wives cry, daughters cry, sons cry. So this is why you can't normalize something like this, because once something like this gets out of control, it will not stop. Imagine if our politicians start acting like the Bloods and the Crips, and they got a whole slew of people, their constituents, they could use to brainwash like most of these gangs do. And having people think that someone is Hitler because of this rhetoric, having people think that you helping America and the Constitution if you get rid of this person. That type of rhetoric is what we need to do away with. They want us to celebrate death, debauchery, the lunacy, what is that? The lunatics of the left marching us towards censorship. Oh, we already there. Once that bullet went off, salute to you. Once that bullet went off, we already at censorship now. It was free speech until that bullet. Now free speech is about to be examined. They put an asterisk on that free speech because people are using it for the wrong reasons. Free speech, you have a right to speak up against government, against things that you see as wrong, but you don't got a right to incite violence, because it's people that are alive that still love this person, and then you guys are going to come and disrespect the dead, which is in turn disrespecting the living, which could incite violence, especially in this situation where somebody was on a political path and was on a peaceful path, and you take their life. It might discourage the next person from coming up and trying to do the same thing. And if we allow that to happen, then we no longer have America. So we can't allow that to happen. We can't.
State. Watch this. And the tribute from the Jets did not end there. As the crowd chanted USA, a video of Charlie and a message from his widow, Erica, played at the stadium. Joining me now is Newsweek's Senior Editor-at-Large and Article 3 Project Senior Counsel, Josh Hammer. Josh, that's something special. That shows the impact Charlie Kirk had. They thought they'd kill his influence by taking his life, but they failed.
Rita, let me just first say, this has been really hard. This has been a really, really hard week or so. Charlie and I were pretty close. I've known him for a number of years, but we really became close over the past year and a half, 2 years. We were in virtually daily contact. Actually, I spoke with him less than 24 hours before he was assassinated. Actually, I was helping to prep him for this very campus tour, especially when it came to the inevitable bombardment of anti-Israel questions there. And this is an irreplaceable void. This is a gargantuan void that the American right. I mean, we have lost not merely a foot soldier, we have lost not merely a colonel or a lieutenant, we have lost a 5-star general. We have lost one of the absolute titans of our broader battle to save America and by extension save Western civilization. We have likely lost a future president of the United States. That is likely the path that my fallen friend Charlie Kirk was very much on. But I guess what I didn't necessarily appreciate, kind of taking it back to the sports teams, I didn't necessarily fully appreciate the extent of Charlie's penetration of the broader culture. I know him as someone who I would frequently dialogue with about the issues. I know him as someone who, I would go to Turning Point USA events. I know him as someone who I would go on his
This brother says the same people screaming acceptance and peace, shaking my head, and motherfuckers who called us house niggas because we are telling people to chill with the jokes. Absolutely, they will call as soon as they act like they with us. As soon as we sound like we against them harming or hurting somebody, these people ain't with nobody. They want like-minded people in anger and hate. They looking for more foot soldiers for hate and anger. You gotta be hateful. You gotta be angry. You gotta be triggered. You gotta be mad. You can't say, well, I don't give a f. How many times you heard somebody on the left saying, I don't give a f. Yeah, I don't give a f about all that. That don't matter to me. That don't do nothing in my life. How many times you heard them say, man, God got me. I don't give a. I don't care. You ain't gonna hear that. You're not gonna hear that.
probably sent to a mental asylum there. But Rita, this is probably the most tragic part of all, is that in a way, this assassination was somewhat predictable. It really is shockingly similar to what happened to Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Very similar situation there. But left-wing political violence has been a menace in this country for years and years and years, going at least as far back as the 2012 Floyd Lee Corkinson attempted shooting of the Family Research Council in Washington, D.C., the James Hodgkinson shooting of the congressional baseball team in suburban Virginia in 2017, and on and on and on we go. This is just the highest profile example there. But the percentage of Democrats who say, Rita, that they could see themselves justifying the assassination of Donald Trump or their political opponents, in a recent poll I saw, the ones who said that they could foresee this world of justifying it was over 50%. I mean, I'm sorry, not to put too fine a point on it. This is how republics die. Like, this is literally how a self-governing people loses the ability to govern itself. When we cease to have our debates with the pen and the keyboard at the ballot box there, and when we start having our debates through the sword and bullets and rifles there, that's it. That's game over there. The stakes are really, really, really.
He's spitting facts. It would be game over. It'd be game over if that's the new bar to where you just start unaliving your political opponents. We're going to end up a third world country. We're going to end up just like everybody else. What makes us different is we supposedly have law and order. Do we got some issues? You damn right. We don't got everybody else's issues, though. But we headed that way. Seem like we heading that way. But I want to play this other video because I want to get back to some more people losing their job. You were about to lose your job. Because Charlemagne and all these guys said, you can say what you want. It's free speech. But there's a consequence. So they was okay with this consequence when it's on the other side. They okay with people getting fired. They okay with people getting beat up. Shouldn't have been talking trash. They okay with all that. All I'm saying is you shouldn't be talking about the dead. That's all I'm going to say. But let's watch how these teachers are talking in the classroom amongst school-age students. I don't know what these students have to do with that and why would some teachers say this, but I'm glad this person got fired.
As civilians and people of our great country, we hold ourselves to a higher standard and to support, or worse yet, rejoice in violence. Someone who advocated for an arrested murderer and assassinator of one of the greatest debaters and free speakers of our time should have no place in the classroom, more so around young children.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What y'all doing?
Damn, them young kids got more sense than some of the adults. Them young kids said somebody that wanted to unalive somebody who just wanted to speak, one of the great debaters, and you unalive him, you should have no place in a classroom, let alone amongst us students. And that's the truth. Now, maybe if you was a hateful son B and you just flipping pancakes, okay, keep flipping them pancakes and don't get none of that hate on my burger or my pancake. You know, but you ain't at the Waffle House. You teaching the young mind. So you could influence this young mind to participate in stupidity like you. So that's why you need to go. You know, we need to isolate you to a corner. You need to go.
With the passing of Charlie Kirk, it has shown that a lot of people are evil in this world. People celebrating his passing and every damn thing. Disgusting. Truly evil. Yeah, they celebrate his passing. But what they didn't consider is they didn't know that MAGA, we stick together like family, right? We don't do riots. We don't burn down buildings. We don't take to the streets like a couple of hooligans. You know what we do? We'll report you. That's all we got to do from the comfort of our home, okay? None of all that fighting and all that taking to the streets. We don't got to do that. We got to go to work in the morning. We don't got to do that. You wake up and you see a pink slip as soon as you walk into your job and you don't have employment no more. Just understand, we stick together like family, okay? So keep on disrespecting a man passing, which is truly disgusting. And we just gonna have to keep on, you know, letting people know who you are. That's it. That's all. Allegedly. Allegedly over here in this channel. Allegedly.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your brother Wise. I appreciate you guys pulling up today.
Boy, she having a good time. She talking about allegedly. Yeah, she been getting on y'all behind because that's what's been happening. It ain't the jobs that's been firing y'all like that looking for it. It's been people that don't like what you said, and they've been getting you fired.
Are losing their jobs because they quote unquote express their opinion. I just posted a video. Yeah, it's deeper than that. You didn't get fired because you expressed your opinion or posted a video. You didn't get fired for that. No, that's not why you got fired. No, you were fired because you showed that you lack zero compassion, zero empathy, and zero human decency. That's why you were fired. You showed your employer who you really are and who they really hired. See, here's the thing. Your job is more than the skills that you possess. When you have that job, you're expected to do certain things. You're expected to treat your customers well. You're expected to treat your teammates well. You're expected to treat the people that you serve well. So you should really ask yourself this: why would an employer believe that you can actually show compassion and empathy to teammates, the customers, and the people that you serve if you couldn't do it online? Like, you made a video. You bragged about not having compassion. You bragged about not having empathy. You bragged about not having human decency. You got yourself fired because you were pandering to a similar audience of like-minded people. You wanted clicks and likes. You probably wanted to go viral. You wanted to get noticed. And your employer noticed you. Job well done.
Yeah, you wanted to get noticed, and yeah, you were noticed. And you probably did get viral. And maybe you did make a little bit of money. But in the midst of that, you lost that primary income source, man. And I just don't think people think. I just don't think people think about the ramifications of, you know, what they put out there on the internet. I just don't think they do.
I was just fired from my job.
Well, a drug.
So I've lost my job. I got called into the office yesterday and told me that they could either fire me or I could put a resignation in. But that would look better. But they fired me, or they're getting rid of me because of my TikTok. Somebody screenshot a lot of my TikToks, and
I made some stupid
No, they ain't getting rid of you because of TikTok. They getting rid of you because of that dumb shit you said on TikTok. See, a lot of these people, this is actually a huge, well, let me see. I can't, let me get to a stop. Can't really see this shit while I'm driving. This is a huge referendum on how your employer is all about money. Their loyalty is administration selling out. Yeah. I told you, company policy. They're all about that bottom line. And they know not firing your ass is going to affect their bottom dollar. So there's no way on God green earth you're not going to get fired at a time like this. Too many people's emotions are involved. They get one call, that's all. You gone. One call, that's all. It's going to be easy as pie. And it's not about the color. If this was about the George Floyd situation, because so many people were up in arms about it, one call, that's all. That's all it took. And that's all it's going to take. Because people are not, companies can't stand up to the pressure of the people, especially when their emotions are high about their loved ones. So this scenario happens both ways. They're trying to make y'all think that they're only doing this because Charlie Kirk is white. They're doing this because Charlie Kirk stood for what he stood for, nonviolence and all that. And plus, you guys shouldn't do this to anybody. They did it when George Floyd got picked on when he was on the line. A lot of those people got fired. And wasn't nobody complaining for them. A lot of those people got fired like a mug. So, company policy, you better go home. You better go to your employer and ask them, hey, can you show me, give me my contract again. Let me see what the company policy is. And just go to HR and go over your company policy. I guarantee you, if you cause enough attention to yourself, enough negative attention for the company, I guarantee you almost every company has some type of provision that they can fire you without cause. Just boom, you fired. Soon as you bring some type of negative press to the company. That's what you better understand. It ain't just basketball players, it's you too.
Comments about Charlie Kirk on the day that he was shot.
Have y'all noticed something? Like these people, they all have a certain look about it, especially in their eyes. You can see it. It's really in the eyes. They say the eyes are the window of the soul, but you can really see there's a certain look that these people tend to have right there in the orbital region.
I said some things on Blue Sky and on Threads that I'm sorry, not sorry for, but I said them and I deleted them when it was requested that I do so by my employer. And then today on a weekend, I'm told that I am no longer employed at Microsoft. After 6 years building the diversity, equity, and inclusion department from scratch, I lose my job because one of you, some random person, reports my posts to my employer, goes out of their way to find out where I work and takes my job.
This is the real.
They fired you on the weekend because HR is smart. Whatever company, Microsoft, y'all did a good thing. Let that son bitch work all day, fire his ass on the weekend, so that way he don't tear the club up, or in this case, tear the office up. That's why you got fired on the weekend. Don't try to say weekend, like they did you so wrong. They better have to fire your ass on the weekend. You look like the type, it would have been another shooting. Yeah, you look like one of them shoot 'em up, bang bang type. Talk about, and then you all mad. I built it from scratch. Yeah, you seem a little volatile there, buddy. They were smart. They would probably they had a whole task force in there thinking about what to do with your crazy ass. Should we tell them now? Hell no. That motherfucker he gonna have a bitch fit. He's gonna lose his shit. Don't tell him. Wait till he get home. And lock all the doors. Have the police waiting up here all week long. I guarantee they got that damn building on lockdown because of this motherfucker. That building on lockdown for the next month. It's on alert level B. That means security watch all doors and windows. They watching this dude. And yeah, you deserve to get fired. Hey, hell wrong with you. You working at Microsoft doing something stupid. Now go home and touch the computer all day. Go home and touch the computer all day.
Face right here. This is the real face of DEI. There's a bunch of black folks out there thinking like, oh, DEI. No, they think, nah, this is the real face of DEI. You know, it's white liberals and members of the alphabet community. Let's just keep it a buck. It's crazy.
Takes my security away from me for a thought, for an opinion, and you talk about freedom of speech like you care about it, and you're just going to take my money, my life, my food off my plate because I don't like Charlie Kirk? That's not okay. It is not okay to target me because I felt joy that day. I can't help how I feel. I felt joy. That's me. That's what I believe. That's what I think of him. I can't help.
Holy shucks. This person, this all-inclusive person, said he felt joy. Golly. I don't gotta like somebody. I don't gotta agree with somebody. Like, why do people say that as if that's okay? Like, I don't like this person. Like, cool, you don't gotta like a person, but damn, to feel joy that somebody got unalive, you gotta be kin to the devil. Like, I never heard somebody say, I felt joy that somebody died. Somebody that didn't touch you, somebody that didn't put their hands on you, didn't touch one of your children. Like, what reason would you have to feel joy? Joy is a big word for this situation. Why would anybody feel joy that somebody passed away? That's just talking. This is a crazy son of a bitch here, boy.
Help that. So I don't deserve a job? You fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my fucking job. Now I have nothing but this. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore.
Well, shouldn't have been talking shit. Yeah, if all you had was that job, then you should have been very, very, very careful. Like Elmer Fudd, you should have been very, very careful. All you got is that job, and you online running your goddamn mouth about something that despicable. That's what you get. Shouldn't have been talking shit. Now you're in here hollering, I love my job. That's what your ass get. Should have thought about that. Now you crying just like the family. That's what your ass get. Just being stupid. And now you hollering. Boy, justice is swift. That's hilarious. Sound like a damn seal that can't get back to the water. I lost my job. Nah, you ain't lose your job. You got fired for being a jackass. Let it sink in. You got fired. And you deserved every second of it. Let's hear that again. I want to hear you holler like a seal or an otter. Yeah, I want to hear you again.
Fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my fucking job. Now I have nothing but this. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing
That last scene.
See, if his daddy was in the house, he just slapped his ass in the back of the head. Boy, what the hell are you? Sit your ass down. Pwop! Sit your, well, you couldn't say punk ass down, but sit your ass down, boy. The hell wrong with you? You'll get a new job. Control your goddamn emotions. It's just one fucking job. Life ain't over, nigga. You know how many jobs people lose and get? Nigga, this happens every day, B. Smack him in the back of the head and say, man up, or whatever you want to be. Just toughen up. Smack him in the back of his head and say, you gonna get another job, you punk. Talking about you an adult. You running around here hollering and shit over a loss of a job. You was a jackass. Go to counseling, get better, and then get another job. It's simple. Shit.
A little scary. Very demonic. But these people, man, they have that look. They had to look. I'm not.
Across the country are being dogs fired and suspended for posting anything disagreeing with Charlie Kirk since he's died. But I'm getting comments like this, and I'm not reading this comment, so you're going to have to read it for yourself. But I also want to talk about another comment I got earlier this week, which was, do you see yourself in George Floyd? And like they called him similar adjectives to describe him. And they meant it as a dig. But this is the thing that they don't get. Yes, I do see myself in George Floyd. I saw myself in Tamir Rice. I saw myself in Breonna Taylor. I see myself in all of them. And that's actually the point. And that's what we've been trying to say to you this entire time.
I'm sorry. I don't see myself in George Floyd. Not at all. I don't see myself in Breonna Taylor. You know, God rest her soul. Her situation's, you know, a little different. The Breonna Taylor situation. It's a little different than George Floyd's situation. She's just, unfortunately, was dealing with the wrong dudes. You know, dealing with the wrong dudes, holding the stash for the wrong dudes, which she should not have been doing. You know, and that was very unfortunate. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe
They definitely don't get it, American man, but they done fucked around and they done found out. And they jobs on the line. I told them. I don't know why people think they can just get online and say whatever. How the Weeknd said, you were about to cause the wrong attention. Got some niggas ain't nothing to mess with. They about to cause the wrong attention, boy. If that song ever made true, boy, you gonna cause the wrong, getting on the line and participating in stuff like that, talking about unalive people and all that, you gonna cause the wrong intention with your employer, and all kind of situations. It makes no sense. Not for no likes, not for no clicks. I think most people are monkey see, monkey do. So they just copy what other people do. But good luck with that, you know. You don't want to show any moral decency and knowing better. You know better than shit like that. There wasn't nobody raised up to, hey, we gonna mock the dead. Nobody got raised up to do that. Everybody was taught by mama, daddy, or both that you let the dead rest. Now, what you decide to do, that's on you. But you was taught not to do that shit.
the police are paying a price, you know, for that. And I believe they also won the lawsuit. So, hey, bless Breonna Taylor's soul.
This is what we've been trying to say. And this is what I said in my other video. But the reason that this is hitting Republicans so hard is because they're seeing themselves in this man for the first time. For the first time, they're realizing, oh, this isn't just rhetoric. This isn't just words. The snowflake left that, you know, the thing about the right is that they can debate immigration and LGBTQ rights and abortion because it doesn't matter to them. And because as soon as you start to get a little emotional, they use that as proof that you're not intelligent, that you can't have a debate. It's not a debate because it's people's lives. And now that they see that it's...
I mean, when people sit down to have debates, from what
It's not that we stuck on Charlie. Bring the news story, got to get to the news. Where is that story at? Bring it to the forefront. We'll talk about that story too. Nobody's stuck on Charlie. We talking about the people that got fired right now.
Witnessed. Anytime a conservative sits down with a liberal to have these debates, they do get emotional. They get extremely emotional. They lash out. They yell. They scream. They start, calling names. We've witnessed it. We've all experienced it. We've gotten a chance to see it firsthand, up close and personal.
People's lives. We understand it's not a debate, but instead of letting the left have this free speech they so claim to love, they want the left to lose their jobs while at the same time being attacked. If you do not know, they're creating a searchable database of anyone who has posted online about Charlie Kirk with as much personal information that they can find about these people. They are trying to scare people into silence and threaten us at the same time. The harder it gets to speak up, the more important it is that we do, because there are people who have jobs that truly would fire them, who live in communities where it is not safe, who
They trying to scare you into being a better person. Yeah, if you want to be a dickhead, you're going to be broke. They trying to scare you into being a better person, not silent. And matter of fact, you still talking right now. Don't nobody care if you talk. You're just not going to be paid to talk like that. Not by another company. Maybe you should start your own company up. Call it Hateville. You know? Why don't you do your job from your website right there or your laptop? But, you know, yeah, they want to cancel everybody else. But then when it happened to them now, it shouldn't happen. Get the hell out of here.
who are immigrants who can't speak up. I mean, that really can be retaliated against. And so if you are a person who has the privilege that you can use your voice, I'm not saying you have to make a video, but your voice can be a repost, your voice can be a protest, your voice can be a call to a mayor's office. Your voice is however you can use your voice. And I am begging you to please use your voice.
Woman, you just fucked your life up. You are an attractive young lady. You could have been focused on working hard, getting you a man, making a family, getting married, or getting you a woman, marrying and being a part of that family. But sitting online, doing all this hatred stuff, laughing at someone's death and all this stupidity, you just derailed your life. And now you don't look as pretty as you once looked. You looked ugly. You look ugly now. And now you're inviting certain things into your own life. Life has a funny way of bringing to your doorstep what you want for other people. So you should stop. You should stop being like this. You should take this as a lesson. No, I don't want to save her. Hell no. Fuck no. I don't want to be next to no motherfucker that want to laugh at death. She want to talk about what Charlie Kirk is inciting or was inciting and all this other stuff. But here you are laughing at a man who got unalived in front of everybody in the worst way. And then what about those people that want to come at you for inciting their violence or making them feel a certain way? See how that would never stop? So no, I wouldn't want to be around nobody like that. Hell no. You bringing that bad juju my way. You should learn from this and don't do this shit no more, lady. You seem like a young, pretty girl. You should go to counseling. You should really apologize to your community, people around you. People will forgive you. And then wake the fuck up and go create you a family and live life. Have fun. Go surfing. This shit ain't getting you nowhere.
The problem when it comes to dealing with liberals is majority of them, they're not looking at things through a biblical lens. They're not looking at things through a biblical worldview. That's not typically what they're doing. And, for those of us that are followers of Christ and we're looking at the world through the lens of the Bible, it's the truth and the lies. And there's no compromising when it comes to God's word. There's no compromise there. It's either in the book as the truth or it's a lie. And that's what these folks can't comprehend it. They can't comprehend that there are people that believe in the word, and we believe that the word is the
You said I have to leave the premises like immediately. So
I just got fired. Can't have you.
Yeah. And the companies want to protect their bottom line. They want to do that.
I just got fired. Can't have you.
You said I have to leave the premises like immediately. So guess I'll see you guys later. I'm fired. You guys take care. Good luck, okay? Kind of relief. You guys have a good one.
Oh man, I feel good. I just got fired. And honestly, when they told me, I was like a little like, but then
She capped, talking about she feel good. Girl, don't nobody feel good after getting fired. That's why you ran your ass to the phone. You do not feel good. You are capped. You making this shit up. Nobody feel good after getting fired. You sound like that, but this is how they really feel after getting fired. This girl right here again. She's back, y'all. She's back. The cute one that was on here earlier, she back again.
About someone's death.
Ew. That's been my whole career. Like, how can we get the highest quality education to as many students
No, this is like a
Charlie
different.
Shop, I worked at a nonprofit where I taught reproductive health to LGBTQ youth and youth in foster care in Dallas, Texas. And like, that was hard. But after I did it,
That's a job. That's a job. This lady said that she was teaching alphabet community youth about sex education. What are you teaching them, ma'am?
I was so proud of myself. And I told myself,
Wait a minute. Her job was to teach kids sex? Oh, man, I'm done. I'm done. Her job was to teach kids sex. What a piece of work. Anyway, y'all, I got to take my daughter to school. I made it. I'm on time. So, yeah, man, I got to get up out of here. I'm going to go grab me a little biscuit and be ready to take the little princess to the schoolhouse. So, y'all have a blessed morning. Maybe I'll come back on the way home. But y'all have a blessed morning. I got to drop little Ma off. I'll be back.